A new patch note just dropped, bringing us more information about Season 2, which includes war pets, the talent trees on the new cavalry heroes, and more. So stick around in this video for a full review of everything on its way to Call of Dragons. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons. And you know I'm hyped for a new patch because on 8/31 we're getting a lot of really awesome stuff. Season 2 is finally almost here and it's going to be frost themed. As the frigid wind blows, the hearth burns dim. Season 2, the Icebound Oath, has launched. Players reaching the end of Season 1 Burning Stars, and also Season 1 plus Burning Stars, can now proceed to the realm of Belleron to experience a new season. Now, this is a little bit weird because I wonder if this whole Season 1 plus thing is just temporary and people will never experience it ever again. They then go on to say that Season 2 contents are summarized below. Scenery and setting. Belleron lies west of the Eternal Sea. For thousands of years, the Dwarven Kingdom has ruled over the land. Marvel at its magnificent sandstone cliffs, visit the bustling market, the jewel of the desert, and gaze upon the glorious Castle Frostforge, located atop the breathtaking mountains. Do you like how I avoided using any of the names here that I would mispronounce? I think I did that pretty well. The enemies in Season 2. Players will defend against the Belleron faction, fighting the Dwarven Infantry and Dwarven Cavalry. I don't think this is a playable faction, but if it is, I'm kind of hyped. From the Kingdom of Cadwalladir. I think I pronounced that correctly. Cadwalladir. Okay, anyways. There are new Behemoths. In Season 2, players can challenge two new Behemoths, the Frost Giant and the Frost Dragon. Now, if you're subscribed to the channel, I basically predicted exactly this. So consider subscribing if you haven't already for Call of Dragons videos that apparently can predict the future. For Behemoths that appeared in previous seasons, exclusive Behemoth affixes have been added in Season 2, changing around the battle experience. That's cool. I mean, look, when you play a game like World of Warcraft and you do dungeons, there are affixes you can put on the dungeon, modifications to the dungeon. This is a very common tactic. So the idea that Behemoths have affixes that change the way they operate could make the PvE more exciting. The season story, a great and sudden calamity, Frostfall, has ruptured the friendship between the dwarves and Tamarians. Answer your compatriots' call for aid and head to Belleron in search of the truth in a new and amazing season adventure story. The Proving Grounds. Ancestor statues forged by the dwarves can be found at regional borders across Belleron. Fight your alliance in challenges set by the statue's dwarven guardians. After proving yourself to the ancestors, you'll earn challenge points and receive blessings and rewards. Sounds like a PvE event? The Proving Grounds. Exploration. The vast realm of Belleron is waiting to be explored. Visit the themed villages to gain a deeper understanding of each region and unlock more of its secrets. I'm going to be honest with you. I click all the buttons to claim the rewards. There's too much reading. I don't read it all. It would be nice if there was like a summary of like, here are the 3 villages you really need to know about. But I will probably speed read through it or click through it very quickly. They're also going to give us some new cinematics, which is cool, and you can rewatch them in the Augur Stone. But let's get to some of the new stuff you can get, including the battle pets. Following the Night of the Burning Stars, many lost their homes. Beasts roamed the land, suffering the corruption of dark forces. Purify those beasts so that they may join your legion, fighting alongside your heroes to defeat the enemy. Love to see it. So now we get confirmation that the battle pets do fight alongside you against your enemies. Pet sanctuaries will be available to purify beasts on the world map to allow them to enter into your pet sanctuary. Nurture your war pets and interact with them to get exciting surprises. This is like the 2023 version of our Tamagotchi. If you don't know what a Tamagotchi is, you know how old I am now. Nurture your war pets and interact with them to get exciting surprises. I hope that's not like occasionally you talk to your pet. I mean, that's actually could be kind of cool. Occasionally you talk to your pet and maybe they give you resources or a gold key or, I don't know, legendary tokens or like a reward of some kind, right? I don't exactly know the lore behind why a pet would give you a legendary token, but it sounds like they give you surprises, and that surprise is probably some kind of reward. According to the Merchants Guild, pet sanctuaries have just been built and will be further improved in the future. So, either the pet sanctuary will have limited functionality when it first lands, or there'll be levels that you can reach with it later, and the level cap will be set low initially. Could be one of those things. Lords are welcome to provide suggestions and feedback. You bet we will. The stories of the legendary heroes, Sindrian, Frhagar, Forondil, and Theodore have been updated. Speak with them to gain trust. So for those of us in Season 1+, we've been like walking around going like, hey bro, where the heck are Sindrian and Frhagar in our cities? Now they're going to show up in your city. And by the way, the fact that Sindrian, Frhagar, Forondil, and Theodore are all showing up to gain trust with them in the city, I have a theory. Are you ready for my theory? Possibly, we'll get 2 of the cycles of the Strongest Lord event and wheel events with Forondil and Theodore, and then 2 of the Strongest Lord events and wheel events for Sindrian and Frhagar. That is my suspicion. I suspect that at the start of the new season, when they've got that special wheel, which I assume we'll see again, by the way. I'll have a card up in the top for that wheel if you don't know what I'm talking about. I bet you that we will see Sindrian, Frhagar, Forondil, and Theodore all on there. And one thing that I'm like just putting the pieces together on is that we had Garwood and also we had Bakshi in that special wheel. And then later those heroes showed up in the Strongest Lord and Wheel event. So I think when a new season shows up, we might expect as many as 4 heroes, or at least when new players go to that season for the first time, maybe they'll get it that way. That's my suspicion. We may actually get more Frhagar wheels. That is very interesting and makes me really think about the way that I actually do my collection right now. I'm actually, this is a big insight from Chisgule Gaming right here. I'm going to have to think on this. Let me know down below in the comments, but I've been doing the daily special offer for Frhagar, which is amazing. But if she's going to show up in the wheel again, I kind of want to pump the brakes on that and maybe get somebody else. Maybe work on Sindrian for a couple weeks. To be determined how I'm going to run that. But just keep that in mind. That could be very important for those of you spending in the game. From here, an even richer combat experience. So Forondil is cavalry. We knew that. PvP. I mean, I guess that's exciting. But Control Tree? Yo, Control Tree could be cool. So it looks like Forondil is going to be probably a fielding hero, designed primarily for open field, and Theodore is cavalry, garrison, and skill tree. Boom. He could be an amazing primary hero. Granted, one of his skills is probably going to be fully committed to garrisoning. I'm kind of cool with that. I'm okay with it. It could be cool. One of these heroes is going to be flying. I think it's probably Forondil is the flying Spring Warden hero. That's my guess, and I think Theodore chills on the ground. Okay? Now, they can be recruited from the Lucky Spin, Wheel of Destiny, or Strongest Lord. So I think Wheel of Destiny is that event at the start of the season. Very cool that I think both of them can be recruited from the Wheel of Destiny, exactly as I was just telling you earlier. And Strongest Lord is almost certainly going to be Theodore, the garrison hero, and the Lucky Spin will almost certainly be Forondil because that's the way that typically these releases are done. A hero for garrisoning or rallying typically is in that Strongest Lord, whereas fielders show up in the Lucky Spin. Okay, they also added the new legendary artifact, Oath of Stormpeak, cavalry, PvP, and tank. I think that's really exciting as a combination. My experience with cavalry is that they're almost impossible to use in the open field because they just get freaking melted. So I really would like to see a way to make cavalry actually like more viable as a unit that kind of battles near or on the front line. Of course, how exactly will it work? To be determined. It's going to be in the Forge of Light and also the Riches of the Forest events. To be honest, I already maxed out the Spring Blades, and so, like, I find myself already frequently asking the question, like, what's the role of artifacts that we max and then like a month or two later, a better one shows up? I'm still definitely scratching my head on that one. It makes the artifacts feel extremely expensive. That's not to say they aren't powerful. I'm just saying, like, if I already have a Cav artifact, I get that the effect is cool to get another one, but there's like so many limitations to leveling up your artifacts each season that at the start of the season, you can't even use the wealth of artifacts you may have accumulated if you have a wealth of artifacts. So I don't know. I'm just looking ahead. I'm like, how's this going to work? But Forge of Light and Riches of the Forest is where that thing is going to show up. I think the way to get a lot of it is not Riches of the Forest. It's the Forge of Light. That's the time to move all in on a new artifact you really want to get. They've added a variety of new types of dark creatures on the world map. Fight and purify them into war pets. Boom. Okay. So this is like you got to go catch your Pokemon in the world. So having access to lots of zones could be very important. We don't know if the war pets will be zone based, but I think that they might be kind of biome based. A biome refers to an environment. So there's kind of like a frost biome, desert biomes, forest biomes. Each of these, I suspect, will spawn different types of war pets. That's how I would design it, certainly. And I would potentially have points of interest being hubs for spawning in certain types of war pets. I do have a lot of concern around people fighting over their ability to catch pets and it being really competitive. I have some predictions as well that, like, there's probably items that we might obtain or buy that increase our chance of catching the pet. We probably have something that also we need to buy to actually catch the pet. And some of that could be generated at your pet sanctuary. Like maybe you grow the things you need to feed these animals and increase your capture chance, or you build different traps to try to catch them. I'm not really sure, but it sounds like just like any creature that you want to show love to, you first need to beat it to probably 1% of life on the edge of death in order to make it your pet. I'm obviously using sarcasm here, but many games use that sort of mechanic of like, first smash them to crush their will, then try to catch them. So, okay, whatever. That's just how it goes, man. Catch the Pokemon. Adjusted the combat behavior of dark creatures on the world map for smoother fights. Improved the experience when challenging dark creatures, which now make more logical choices on which targets to attack. Increase the attack and skill casting range of some dark creatures. They've also adjusted the skill effects of the Gold Crest artifact. Okay, very interesting. I have very strong feelings about the Gold Crest. The immobilization effect of the artifact's Shadow Flight can only trigger one time every 10 seconds on the same target. Okay, that is not the change I was hoping for. Here is the problem with the Gold Crest. It does stupid damage, but it is such a small range on this thing, and I totally get that marksmen have a short range on artifacts, but it is so hard to actually get this to fire off on an enemy. Like, the only enemy you can get with the Gold Crest is someone who's being so dumb they were basically dead anyways, and then boom, they're hit with the web, and now they're really dead. But I find that I very rarely get to use the Gold Crest as offensively as I would like, and I often just need to pick a target of opportunity. I'm like, please, just let me find literally anyone in range. Although I did make a YouTube short of, like, doing absolutely stupid damage with the Gold Crest. I'm not saying it can't do cool damage, but I do think that the targeting template for it could use a little bit of love. Specifically, it gets really difficult to use when you're trying to target something that's on the edge of the range and it moves out of range. I feel like a little bit of love on that template would go such a long way for it feeling like a great artifact. At this time, I know it's really punchy, and I know I'm over-talking on Gold Crest, but like, I would not rate it as highly as I originally did, purely because of the majorly limited value of the template size, and the passive effect, locking someone up, ends up being mostly irrelevant most of the time. You're just there for the damage. In addition, they've adjusted the effect of Indus's Axiom of Glory skill in order to increase the range of the legions it can heal by 36%. Hey, We got a buff on a free-to-play hero. Let's freaking go. I am hearing reports of people enjoying using the Rindis. As I put more skills onto her, I'll definitely let you know my thoughts there, and I'll try her out. They've also adjusted Emrys's Shattering Blow rage skill to increase its low-end damage by about 100. So the very low-end 3 skills do more damage, but at the top end, it is the same. They also have improved the experience in the Roots of War. The display scrolling battlefield notifications are improved. As messages appear, the old ones disappear faster. Fixed an issue that prevented using Legion markers. Fixed an issue where it was impossible to set Alliance markers in Lifestone details. After summoning a Behemoth, tapping its avatar on the top left will shift the player's perspective to the Behemoth's location. Very cool. After summoning a Behemoth on the battlefield, its avatar will be displayed in the map in the top right. They fixed an issue in which the rallied army march speed was not displayed. You go 150% faster, man, we cruising. They improved the display of battlefield buffs, which are more clear and concise. And the Fury of the Forest Legion damage dealt bonus is there. I guess it's a buff you got. That's telling me what was more clear and concise. That Fury of the Forest gives Legion damage dealt boost, and Leaves of Haste gives Legion routed march speed of 300%. So when your troops die, they go back to your city faster. And that rallied army march speed of 150% I mentioned moments ago. They fixed an issue with the Venomous Lizard. Very, I don't know what word to say here. I was going to say interesting, but I overused that. Their Malevolent Gaze no longer dispels debuff effects on the target Legion. When a Legion in a pass is defending against attack from a Behemoth, Legions will no longer die. Yeah, this was super toxic. People would fill up a pass and you'd send a Behemoth to go fight it, and the defenders would have troops die. It's a pretty big L. So glad that they fixed that. They've also added a commander and deputy switching feature in the Legion deployment screen. That's kind of cool. Like, quick swap who's the primary, please. I might use that, but probably not. I'm just using presets, really. When I make the preset, I might use that. They're also adding more enjoyable events. Reduce the escort difficulty of the Breaking Through event in Season 1+ and Season 2 Oath, Icebound Oath. Okay, interesting. The Breaking Through event is going to be easier. I thought it was fine. I really don't think it needs to be easier. At the same time, making it easier means more people get more rewards and push further in the event, and I'm all for that. So that's cool. Improve the Celestial Battlegrounds event. The status of artifacts and heroes will be reset after the player activates challenges in each stage. That's fine. The Celestial Battlegrounds had some like weird retention of your rage on your artifacts, so it sounds like that's addressed. They updated the battlefield in the Trial of Light event and added more heroes and artifacts. I love that. I love giving people the opportunity to try different heroes and try different artifacts. I think that's actually very important. I would like for us to actually be able to try a artifact before you have to spin on it or spend for it in the Forge of Light. Like, I really think the Trial of Light should show up and let you use the new artifacts as the Forge of Light shows up. That way you can see how good they are, right? We welcome all new players. Log into the game and upgrade your city to level 4 for a chance to get the Berserk Phaedrake War Pet. Cool. So basically, I think if we're City Hall level 4, which like all of us are, right? Or if you're watching this video, you just log into the game and I think we get our first war pet. Big poggers. Freaking love that. Other improvements. They've added a supply station to the market where players can buy different types of listed resources as desired. So maybe we're getting a way to fix for mana because like, bro, mana is freaking hard to get. Adjusted the list order of rank 3 units on the tech interface so that the order is consistent with the ranks of other units. After the adjustment, the rank 3 units are listed in this order. Okay, doesn't really matter. Improved the alliance disbanding feature. When a leader applies to disband the alliance, it will not be disbanded immediately. Instead, it will trigger a countdown based on the alliance's level of development. Rise of Kingdoms, the predecessor to this game, does something similar, I think. If no members apply to become the alliance leader, then the alliance will be disbanded. GG. Adjusted the unlock conditions of the city editor. All right, fine. Added a message recalling feature, deleting the message after you send it. GG. PC improvements. Hey, I am playing on PC right now. The client is amazing. Links in the description. Go download it if you haven't already. You really don't know what you're missing. PC is just better gameplay when you go to actually battle other players. I do my fair share, by the way, of mobile battling, but look, PC client freaking slaps. It's good. They improved the screen adaptation for PC. When in full screen mode, which I don't do, it'll be better on widescreen monitors. Okay. Improve the mouse commands. Okay. You can now right-click a Legion's avatar on the world map to give it a command. Okay, good. Improve the appearance of hover over effects for PC. When the mouse hovers over a city, map building, or other interactable object, clearer and more suitable effects will be displayed. Okay. All in all, actually, this is super effing hype. Season 2 looks really freaking awesome. And we're getting war pets. And you've made it all the way in to like a 20-minute Chisgule gaming video, so you must have had a good time. Consider throwing a like on here and subscribing to the channel. And honestly, I must have earned a like when I just predicted what the special wheel is going to be at the start of the season with all 4 of the heroes and also what's going to show up in Strongest Lord and the lucky spins. I mean, come on now. Hey, I put it all together. The stars reignited into the sort of Season 2 stuff. And I think that Season 1 Plus is probably never going to happen ever again. I think it's just going to be skipped. Now that Season 2 is available, people can just show up for that. And I think War Pets will be in Season 1 and Season 2. And I don't think that War Pets will be season specific, because for those of us that are in Season 2, if we miss out on Season 1 War Pets, that's going to be a big L. Although maybe they'll add new War Pets with each season. But at this point, I've gone off the deep end. Throw a like on the video. Consider subscribing. If you're looking for more information about teasers for War Pets, of a card in the end screen with more of my theories and crazy ideas. Alternatively, if you want to see the updated hero tier list I made, which I think is really important going into this next season, card will be in the end screen for that in just a second.